We're creatures of habit. And a lot of times we think that we know the right way or we know the answer. And we're never 100% right. The moment we think we're right, we're wrong because you can't always be right. If you knew everything, and I know everything, and because I know everything, I know that I don't know anything. But because I don't know anything, it helps me to know everything.
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand. How do you impact true change as a business owner, entrepreneur, and leader? Our guest today believes it begins with empowering individuals to reach their full potential. Dr. DeAngelo Richardson is an award-winning international speaker and life coach who has become a beacon of inspiration for audiences worldwide. With dynamic keynote presentations that not only captivate minds, he also ignites the spark of motivation within each person, driving them toward their goals. Today, we'll learn about the motivation behind the man and more about his extraordinary journey. Welcome to Be Bold Branding, Dr. DeAngelo.
Thank you. Nice to be a part of the community, the Vivo community. It's a pleasure
That's
to be here.
right. And what you're doing is quite bold, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know that it was bold until I actually did it and saw the response I got from counterparts and the public audience. You never really know what kind of impact you're making until you make the impact. And it's like, what? You all see this in me? I was just doing what I thought was best for everybody else. So it
I
worked.
love that. I absolutely love that. It's kind of like I was telling the story earlier today. A few years ago, this gentleman reached out to me on LinkedIn, and in his DM, all he said was, "Hey, Tanya, make me a star." And without thinking, I just replied, "Hey, Bob, we don't make stars, we unveil them." Right. And so it dawned on me, it's like, oh wow, that is exactly what we do, because we believe, like you do, that there's a star inside of every person, and it's our job to help bring that out and showcase it to the world. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Richardson, that's what you do as well, but it begins with getting them to see it inside themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. The thing about discovering the star inside of people is sometimes you see yourself in others. And I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer of the things that we see in others are a reflection of ourselves. Because you can only identify with the things that you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about. But to bring the star out of someone, it's you have to be willing to do the work that it takes to draw it out of them. Because a lot of people, we're layered individuals based on our experiences, the things that we're taught, and the things that most importantly, the things that we believe. And those things are ingrained in us through our cultural backgrounds and the societies that we've been a part of, in our social interactions. So, everyone has a gift. Everyone is really a star on the inside, and some people don't want to know that they're a star because they don't feel comfortable with what attention it will bring them, not knowing that it's actually a part of them that's going to change the world or change other people around them. And we miss out on those opportunities because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it enough.
You're so right. You know how many people I've worked with over the last several years have said, I just don't feel comfortable talking about myself. And I think we, as a society, as children, we were taught not to do that. Don't brag about that. Be kind about it. Be humble.
Mhm.
And while that those things are true and admirable, in our adulthood, it can impact us in a little bit of a negative way, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I believe that from my own experience and experiencing others, that when we encourage people not to be who they truly are on the inside, we create that shell that they can't come out of because they begin to, you forget to align with your own self identity. And your self identity is almost always where your gift lies, it's where your strength lies, it's where your wisdom lies. And it's the part of you that everyone around you actually needs. So to tell someone not to be themselves or to don't be humble, don't be this, don't be courageous, don't be that's it's I don't want to say it's negative talk, it's just a lack of understanding of who we actually are, because we'll train someone to be someone that they were never meant to be, and then they'll go on living their lives trying to unlearn a part of themselves that they were never supposed to be in the beginning.
Oh, wow. That I love this. Okay, so I gotta say, we met you on a meet and greet call that we do to pull out amazing podcast guests, right? Somebody that can be very articulate and talk about a subject matter that's near and dear to our hearts and that I believe everybody should hear. I could sit and listen to you talk forever. And if I could wake up every morning and say, okay, I'm going to have my virtual coffee with Dr. DeAngelo Richardson, like that would be awesome, right? So what I want to know and what I want our guests to know is we like to get to know the man behind the mission, right? And so I want to know I've always looked at people like who you are today as an adult really largely is all about the life that you've led as a child. And so I'd love to know like where your life started, how you grew up.
Oh, so uh, this is a good question. So I born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Single mother household. My father had, he had a lot of different responsibilities and things. So I didn't see him as much as I would have liked to. But when I did see him, I kind of made the best of it. But my mother, I grew up in some pretty I'll say advantageous neighborhoods. So I was forced to endure a lot of different things that I saw. And what that did was I don't want to say it prepared me for anything. It just showed me how, the reality of life and how good or bad things could really be. And it made me appreciate small things. And I believe that that's the part of me that always kept me going forward. I look at the process of transformation. There's always transformation in your circumstances. So, as a kid, seeing things that I don't believe I should have ever been exposed to, it created a alternative reality for me. And having to endure through that alternative reality, I had to do a lot of different things that I never would have wanted to do with who I am now. I would have never chose those routes. And not that I was doing anything wrong, is we're a reflection of our experiences. So you do what you're taught. So if life is your teacher, you begin to be the teacher of those lessons, and those lessons are displayed in your actions. Those lessons are displayed in your legacy. So as I got older, I've always been, like, as a child, I've always been big on prayer. I've always been, big on prayer and seeking God for things, because people can't give you what you really want. We're just not equipped to satisfy everyone all the time. And that led me to a lifestyle of fortitude, determination, never giving up, always supporting the lowly, caring and having empathy for others, and looking at people for who they truly are, not, seeing people from, what I heard about them or what I think about them, but just looking at the hearts of people and seeing who they are. And it turned me into a leader, out of nowhere, and when I speak and coach, and I realize that the wisdom that I give, both men and women, it's all collective to an understanding of how right could be wrong and wrong could be right. And then there's that balance that leverages, what I believe is universal synthesis, if that makes sense. It's like an equilibrium of
Yes.
two entities always being one. Even when they're divided, they're one, but they can't be divided because they're one regardless. Um, I look at my life as like that testimonial example of, hey, it's going to start somewhere very, very, very ugly, but then it'll end in a beautiful way, because that's the way it was always intended to be. So that's, that's me. I'm, the pioneer, or I guess I don't want to say the pioneer, but an advocate of systems in STEM, because systems of people create us all to be who we are. And now I look and I realize that my childhood was what I needed to be who I am today, to bring people of all cultures, backgrounds, belief systems, just everyone, bring everyone under one roof of understanding, to know that, hey, we're all one people. And, our lives are not the way we would like them to be, but we're really going through this together. We need each other. We need each other every day.
Like what you're hearing? Hit that subscribe button and learn how you can change how you're seen and charge what you're worth. Oh man, I couldn't have said it better. And all those things you went through in your childhood, those pressures of life, it's literally like drawing a parallel to it creates a lot of pressure to make a diamond, right? That's
Yes.
really what makes a diamond is all the pressure. And so that and to be this diamond, this beacon of light, and I do see you as that. Um, and I feel like your message, there's just something so wise about your presence and what you're doing, and the biggest reason I wanted you on here today, because I felt like you have a message to share that I wanted to help get out, right? So you're the founder of Different Reasons. Okay. Tell us how and why that name came about.
Oh man. So um okay, 10 years ago, about this time of the year, I was, I saw like this vision. Like it was a strange vision. I'm like, man, I'm gonna something strange about who I am. Like I started really discovering myself. So when I started dating, then at the time it was now my wife, and I didn't understand her, like the relationship, but something about her, it just like kept pushing me forward. Like it was just it was real strange. And as time went on, I noticed that we would fall out for a lot of different things that it would always be the same root issue, but it would always be a different reason. But technically the same reason. So we go on and endure, and we get married, and we have children, and we were both in school. I was finishing my master's. At the time, she got pregnant with our first child together, and then she started her bachelor's program. Then I finished that and went immediately into the doctoral program at Trevecca Nazarene University, and my wife was still finishing her bachelor's. So throughout that process, we had a really, 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 like a lot of experiences that just show us like this life is more than just life, if you understand what I'm saying. And I had I had some experiences at home with my wife, and we just always looked to understand them. And then I had a death experience, and that was kind of unique. And that after that, it showed I started traveling more. I've always been someone to travel the world. I would go whatever country, anywhere, and experience people and connect with them. And it would always be a beautiful experience. I never have a bad experience when I travel the world. So when I got the doctorate, I started realizing, wait a minute, doctor, those are my initials, DeAngelo Richardson. Wow, Dr. DeAngelo Richardson, DRDR. Why would that stand out now? And my favorite color is purple. So I started thinking more and more about it. I'm like, everything I do is for a different reason. Like I don't do things the way everyone else, the way that, I don't have the same intents and motives as everyone. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, I am my own brand. I'm a mastermind of my own identity. DR, DeAngelo Richardson, Dr. Richardson, Dr. DeAngelo Richardson, different reasons. And I'm big on the Bible, so I believe in the law of the Bible, which is in the book of Deuteronomy. I also experience God in so many ways that he unzips things, which is Revelations, DR, Deuteronomy, Revelations. I said, oh,
beautiful.
It's nobody but God. When I gave that to my wife, and like even the background image, that lion is actually my favorite animal, but it all connects. And ever since I started walking in that direction and, sharing it with my wife, I could not have done this without my wife. I could not have done this without God, my wife, and my children. Nice. I could not have done it. And ever since I said yes, it has changed. It changed everything about my life. And it's not easy. It's not. I make no mistake about it. It's not easy, but it is a blessing to know that I'm someone who could be a blessing to everyone in the world, doesn't matter where they come from. And that is there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better.
What an inspirational message. And that's when it's a mixture of you feel like you're being called to do something, but you also feel like it's in such alignment with who you truly are and that purpose you want to achieve. That's when you know it's God, right?
Yes.
That's when you know it. So I love that story. So you mentioned I can help people all over the world. Is there a specific person or type of person that Different Reasons is designed to help more than others?
So that's actually a good question. A lot of people ask me that. We're not tailored to one specific, demographic of people or, profession of people, because we're leaders. We're leaders, educators, and entrepreneurs. And we coach individuals into those roles so that they can be leaders. So if you're looking to be a leader, we'll coach you. If you're looking to be an educator, we'll coach you into the system of what education truly is. If you're looking to be an entrepreneur, we have that also. If you want to discover you, that's who we work with. We work with people who are already established as well, but working with individuals that are already established, it's sometimes it's difficult to retrain them because we're creatures of habit, and a lot of times we think that we know the right way or we know the answer, and we're never 100% right. The moment we think we're right, we're wrong because you can't always be right. If you knew everything, and I know everything, and because I know everything, I know that I don't know anything. But because I don't know anything, it helps me to know everything. So we really
Love it.
we cater to anyone who's willing to learn and grow and discover who they are on the inside. It's all prophecy and exhortation of who we are as a community of believers all around the world because we all believe in something. We're just all discovering the one thing that we're all looking for when we reach it. It's love. We're all looking for love. We're all looking for peace,
Yeah.
joy. We're looking for kindness. We're looking for meekness. We're looking for long suffering, though we don't enjoy it. We're looking for faith. We're looking for unity. We're looking for truth. We're looking for love. So if anyone who's looking for those things, which are the fruit of the Spirit given through Christ, that's who we help. We help people find that, and it's given through love. It's given through truth. It's given through relationship. It's given through servitude, which is the best way to serve anyone in leadership. Is to serve. Servitude is the best form and best practice of leadership that you could ever indulge in. So, um, find me, find anyone on our team. In fact, we have a website currently being developed, and it'll be up and live in about 5 weeks. You can find us there. We'll help. We'll help coach you. We'll even come to seminars, conferences, and speak. We're devoted to serving the world.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I encourage anybody to bring Dr. Richardson into your fold and bring him in front of your people because I do feel like your message is so amazing. So I have one more question to ask you that I think is going to hopefully be thought provoking for everybody. Okay, you're about to welcome your fourth child into the world, right?
Yes, I'm excited about it. Cannot wait. Well, my wife. Oh my goodness.
Congratulations, first of all. I
Thank
can't imagine like having you as such a cool dad. That would be awesome, right?
Yeah, my wife said that. She said, "I love the 5 year." I said, "Thank you," because it's not easy. It's
Uh,
not easy.
well, tell your wife we said congratulations as well.
Yeah.
So here's the question. Tell us what your children have taught you about leadership.
Oh, okay. I cannot be more honest. My children taught me what they taught me about leadership is that a leader can learn from a child. A leader can learn.
Yes.
A leader can learn from a child. I learned. I learned the greatest lesson that I ever could have learned about my marriage from my first daughter when she was almost 2 years old. I could not believe I was hearing me being convicted by a child. And I sat there and listened and I accepted that she was right. So if you are a leader and a child is correcting you, do not look at it as insubordination. Do not look at it as disrespect. Do not think that the child is misbehaving. They're teaching you something about yourself that you need to know in order for you to be the leader that you were ever called or chosen to be.
Oh, perfect. I think God speaks through children all the time.
He does. He does.
Absolutely, he does. Okay. Well, uh, Dr. Richardson, we would love to have you back on our show sometime. So I'm going to reach out to you about that, and I hope you'll graciously accept.
I
Uh,
will.
and then finally, I know you said you've got a website that's going to be ready in about 5 weeks, and
Yes.
we'll go ahead and put that link in the show notes for everybody, so that when that time comes, they'll be ready to roll. But is there another way they can reach out to you or get in touch with you in the meantime?
Yes. So I don't do a lot of social media, but you can find me on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
DeAngelo Richardson, ed.d. You could also find us on LinkedIn as a company, Different Reasons Incorporated on LinkedIn. We're also on TikTok, though we haven't really put a lot of content out there, but you can find us on TikTok at different, I believe it's different underscore reasons or different dot reasons. If it's one or the other, but we're on LinkedIn and Instagram. But if you find me on LinkedIn, I'll more than likely you'll be pointed into the right direction. It'll have, eventually, we'll put our website up there. So, everyone will be able, it's that one-stop shop where we'll bridge the gap to find us anywhere in the world.
Well, I so appreciate you. I'm so happy that we were able to get you on the show today. And as you guys who normally watch our podcast, you will notice one major part of today missing, and that's Michael. And
Wow.
unfortunately, he had an unexpected schedule mishap. And so he had to be out today. But I can tell you that immediately when he found out that it was Dr. Richardson that was going to be on the show, he was very disappointed that he was going to miss this. So we'll have to have you back on when Michael can talk to you as well. So thank you for all your time. Thank you for your huge heart. And thank you for your servant leadership.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. It's an honor and blessing.
Ready to change how you're seen and charge what you're worth? If you're not getting enough opportunities to meet with ideal customers, or the prospects you're meeting with just aren't ideal, it's most likely your brand that's holding you back. So if you're a coach, consultant, or expert who is on the rise, you need our ultimate guide to a freedom-based brand. Download it free now at brandfaceguide.com.